What's up, everybody? This is your guy Colin, and I'm back. Been a long time. Gonna play some HD today. Normally, I go by FrosT, right? But today, go by something a little different, or rather, this month I've gone by something different. There's been a lot of questions and speculation uh, about who GP1 is right now, and that would be me. I am the Weed Wizard. And by the time you watch this video, you'll probably know that because if I'm able to win all my attacks, I will win the season, and I'll be revealing this on the podcast with CE3 and Shiny. But I wanted to record this last day anyway. And also, before I do, I did want to apologize to um, anyone I lied to or misled regarding this. Had a lot of fun trolling this season. Um, it didn't really start off from a position where I was trying to win here, but as I entered by level 20, I realized I was in a great position and I would try something different, and it's worked out for me. So I'm just going to finish up here strong, hopefully. And you know, my journey this season's been an interesting one because I have not really been around. I've been out of town half the month. It's been really busy at work. Um, I've been playing this account. I also play Lord Fletcher, who's currently in fifth, and I think he's finished fifth. And FrosT is somewhere outside of the top 10. Um, but regardless, it's been a very busy season from an HD perspective, from a personal standpoint, and professionally at work. But I'm glad it's over, or it's about to be over, and I'm really looking forward to the months ahead. This has been a fantastic season. I talked about how long it was and how busy I was, but this was actually a really rewarding season of HD, and it's not because I'm in a position to win necessarily, but it's because I think this is the culmination of um, everything that the development team and the community has been working to achieve throughout the entire year, right? Like when I first came back in January, it was a messy sort of 3 week season, level 14 nonsense, and then um, February onward, we kind of started to work on things again. And the setup that won that season was a three mercenary triangle. It was a please don't crit me situation with one executioner. And since then, we've seen changes to game mechanics like increasing the advantages and disadvantages from 12% to 15%. We've seen the 1 point for two mercenary slot change. We've seen the removal of the goldsmith, and we've seen a an old friend actually reappear as a melee option. So welcome back to the swordsman, and again, thanks to Donut for working really hard on that, and the development team for testing it out. So I think what we've seen now is a much more robust ecosystem of setups. They typically fall under three major umbrellas, and so and that can evolve too as seasons go. But we've got the triangles, we've got the offensive melee, and we've got the offensive mounted. And dare I say, the combination of the pressure put on between offensive melee and offensive mounted have really challenged the triangle. And in this season, anyway, defeated the triangle as GP1 and GP2 will be offensive setups. And I think that's great for the game. And I think it's really good to bring this forth going forward because I was a player myself who was sick and tired of playing the triangle every season. And so to see, ease or see myself be in these positions with offensive setups is fantastic. So, um, with that little monologue out of the way, I'm gonna get into it for today. I've already kind of done some prep work here. I believe Ease has done his attacks for the day, 3288. So he finishes with 42,849. In order to get there, I need 2807 actually, not 2806. Um, so I will get through my attacks and hopefully surpass that. I've already put together my attack list for today, and there's certain things I need to watch for. So um, running an offensive mounted setup has been very interesting. I've run it through the entire season. Um, Page to start. By level 9, I think I picked up three calves and like a melee. I kept those weapons and transitioned into by level 20 and recycled them for the knights. And um, I found that a lot of people who were doing the triangles were not paying as much attention to their mounted. They were paying more attention to their melee and neglecting their mounts, and also allocating differently to it. So it really created an opportunity to backdoor a lot of people, and I think that's where um, I made sort of the climb as I played Lead Wizard this month. I know, like when I was playing Frost, I was allocating to HP and defense a lot at first to ensure survivability, right? Because counter mounted were killing each other and we were backdooring each other with them, and I did not want that to happen, and it didn't. But that was the good news, and that was pretty much it. So it's been interesting to navigate that as I've climbed up. I've run into a little bit of turbulence this week. I think as people caught on, they started pitting their mounts, and they're seeing a lot of really strong defensive mounted. Shout out to Four Shard. Where is he here? He's got an excellent defensive mounted, and what is it now? I haven't even checked because I don't even plan on attacking him. See, 681 defense, 272 agility. That's just not doable for my army of knights. But I think what he's done and what other players, Crusher Demons, did this as well, is they were able to adapt mid-season. And we've had this conversation privately in the Illuminati Discord, and I'm sure we'll have it again on the podcast. But with these three sort of major categories for setups, they almost play like a game of rock paper scissors, right? Like if you have a triangle, a well-built triangle, you should be able to attack other triangles and offensive melee and be weak to mounts. Mounted, you can kill other mounted. You could kill triangles, but you're going to struggle against offensive melee. Offensive melee, you might be able to pick on, depending on the composition of your army, other offensive melees, and definitely offensive mounted setups. But you might struggle against like thicker triangles. And when I say thicker triangles, I'm talking about like the dynamic setup, and we'll feature him and speak to him hopefully as the season's finished. But he had four melee walls here. You see Executioner, Berserker, and Crusader, and Crush of Demons as well, who actually has five um, melee walls, right? He's got two Executioners, he's got a Berserker, Crusader, and a Crusader. So um, they're going to struggle against those players to break through, but they can also just destroy anyone who has offensive mounted because offensive mounted players typically have very minimal melee, just sort of there to hold things up while the mounted do their thing. And so we're at a point in the game where it's a game of rock, paper, scissors between these three setups. And I think going forward, it'll be very fascinating to see what people choose because that's going to ultimately shape that season. It's going to be based on a lot of our own personal experiences and frustrations and desires. But the best part about it is that we're going to need to be able to pivot mid-season. Very often in seasons that I just finished playing previously, I was able to lock in the triangle and that was it. You pitted your stuff, you did your archery, like you enhanced your stuff. You might get a little fancy and trade armor if you had a 4 level advantage, but like it wasn't as robust as now where you're having to sort of tweak in the middle of a season. And I'll talk a little bit more about things I could have done better because like I finished on Frost in like 12th, 13th place probably. So I'll talk about my mistakes and what I think I could have done in the future video. But for now, I've been talking a lot. So let's start fighting. The alliance battle is already done for chicken today. And I'm expecting the last of my knights to hit level 33. So I'll have a nice little damage spike there, which is cool. I am seeing some really strong defensive mounted though, so I'm not sure if the damage is really going to matter here. And so we've got our friend Sour Cherry Punch. He is level 33. We'll start the day by equipping new stuff. You never know. Maybe someone, yeah, no. No one's level 39. I did have the option to go level 39 or try to anyway, but I thought that it would be more valuable to ensure that all my mounts get to 33 on these like higher leverage days to make myself as complete as possible, right? Because mounted is a very much a game of numbers, and I just wanted to make sure that those numbers worked in my favor with strong mercenaries from top to bottom instead of just being top heavy with Slurricane, for example, who's a few levels above the rest. It's a little more even now than it was earlier in the season. So just take a quick look at our allocations here. 263, 552, unenhanced. going to give it some accuracy. I've seen a lot of high agility gendarmes, which I've made note of here for some of my targets, and actually had a really big scare yesterday with Dynamis. He almost soloed my entire setup with his counter rogue. So I really want to apply accuracy to finish the season so that I don't get soloed by somebody. And at this point, let's just double check the weapons, see if these are my weaker bastard swords. So I'm going to get rid of them and enhance the new stuff. We don't need any of these anymore. And I will start with I've been doing 30 as a base, but the last day of the season, I might do 40 and switch it. Yeah, I'm gonna do 40, and I'm actually going to switch and put that on my main 8, and then that way I can maximize its level advantage and sell armor, check, sell. Great. So let's take a look here. Sour Cherry Punch 582, 272. So all my guys typically have around 260 to 270 accuracy. Slurricane now, the 10-point jump, 637, 272. It's looking pretty good, looking strong. Still got 1,000 gold left, but I've got other um, sword to buy. So let's just take a quick look here. I might actually pit my melee today just to ensure that it levels up and help hold things down because Northern Light should be able to level up during my weaker attacks. So I am actually going to lead out with my pits today. I'm going to pit my Executioner. I want to make it as strong as possible. Seeing some really high damage out there from the triangles, and be nice to have some defense. Although I'll be attacking them first, so it might not even be relevant. But 14.99 to vote. And also, just as I do this, keep in mind York is running a half month. Well, it's not May Melee Mayhem, but it's going to be Melee Mayhem in June. And so that is all set up. I'm not sure if I'll be partaking. It's been a really busy month of HD for me, so I might take that off, but I'll be really interested to see how people do in that. I need 1327. All right. So 2807 to clinch. And let's get some of these done. So I'm gonna start with our friend Renegade Monk. He's had an awesome season. I know he's, you know, 37th or whatever, but that's not really a indication on the season he had. This guy decided to play with level 2 mercenaries and a lot of salary points. I really admire like his creativity, and he was able to stay in it for a while. And look, he did a good amount of damage here to my melee with level 2 mercenaries. Like he almost killed my executioner. Like it's actually kind of scary. So just see what he did actually to get there. He uh, wow. Yeah, he critted it with a dungeon guard. So a dungeon guard critted an executioner for 450 damage. Let me actually take a look at that. I didn't even spy him today. Uh wow, 700. Like these are pretty decent stats. Level 38 thief. Okay, so this dungeon guard, one of these guys got me for 400 damage. Holy smokes. And that's more damage than it even has like on the actual Merc. Anyway, that was one down, which is great. I'm gonna save these guys for later. I'm gonna try and target the triangles right now because the multi accounts like the Charnas, Spartan Forge, etc. They have barons, which are difficult for my knights to deal with, and they also have gendarmes with a ton of agility, man. Like they're countering a lot of my knights, so I'm actually a little. I want to apply some accuracy where I can first before I attack those guys. But I'm going to hit Achilles here, and hopefully you're coming back stronger next season, man. So we got you backdoored and 2 down. Gummy Bears is another triangle. I think I know who that is. And this thing is not going down. There we go. Critical hit from Blue Dream. 900 damage. Wow. Like on 500 damage the line before. So this thing took 1400 damage in like two lines. Just a mob mentality again. So I lost my my monk. The monk was sort of a troll job, and I probably could have done a better job allocating to it. The Ella did a really good job with theirs. Not going to be attacking them today, but I think it's like 800 defense or something like that. Like it's monstrous. So so that worked out. Shiny has a weak mounted, if I remember right. Yeah, 549, 223. So if you remember, my guys are about 560, 570 with like 260 accuracy. This thing is frightening though. 845 damage. I mean, that's I think the most damage I've seen on Wilt on a bow um, in a while. I mean, it's very scary. He'll get some damage, but hopefully I get him first. Um, there we go. Well, this one's taking a while. Yeah, he just got the monk dead. The monk dies a lot now. Like it hasn't really done a great job surviving. So there's another level 33 appearance for this merc here, and this one's almost there too. So I'm going to pause and take care of that first. I'm going to pump the accuracy. I know some people might be inclined to do damage here, but I'm really afraid of getting countered. I don't have a bow. The Lord Fletcher has a bow for these type of situations, and it's helped. But without that bow, it's just very, very risky and scary. So let's get our friend a new sword. And yeah, like these are nice little influxes of cash. Um, Grape Galena, that one. And for those who don't know, these are all wheat strains, by the way. So it was all planned, all on brand, and that's where these funky names have come from. So not sure what I want to do for June yet. I'll have to sort of break it down and see, but it promises to be a really exciting season, especially on the heels of this. So I'm just gonna put all the gold into it. 25. I can get more than that. Let's go with that for now. Just do a quick summary view of what I have. So I've got a monk with 683 defense, 126 agility. That's why it dies all the time, guys. Um, the executioner is not super strong, 769, 118. Um, but the knights, they kill the archers, right? So 637, 280, 582, 267, 564, 276, 280. So I'm running on the higher end on the accuracy spectrum. It means I really have a hard time attacking people with offensive mounted. I have to really like outnumber them if I feel comfortable with it, and even then, it's still kind of dicey. So, um, but I'm able to attack triangle people on paper, in theory, better. Um, and that speaks to again, toggling your setup and making adjustments mid-season. If I wanted to attack those people, I could have used less accuracy, more speed, more HP. And if there was a composition where it was a lot of offensive mounted players, I might do that. And I mean, I guess there were, but I just found it was too risky because people did a really good job allocating. So I'm gonna kill a few more of these triangles. So we're gonna go after Big Hairy Snake here, and a lot of black, which is scary, but that's because he's got 5 crit bows. Um, Broke through there. It's just so we're just going through the rest of this log here. He's got his Crusader alive still. Critted that guy and critted that guy. Great. Got a level up message. That's going to be the final um, level 33 sword, Northern Lights. We'll get him equipped. So far, so good. We're off to a good start. No Stracker moments this season. Uh, Ghost of Stracker still lives on, man. Still think about it sometimes. That was just one of the wildest endings ever. So, it's good. Running cloth armor, I did experiment a little bit with some of the heavier stuff. I was just afraid it'd make me too slow and that I wouldn't get as many hits in. Um, so I didn't really do a whole lot with that going forward. And I also just stopped attacking people with mounted. I lost to Elation, I lost to Grim Reaper, and thought it just wasn't really reliable for me with the way my mercenaries were configured. So this will be the weakest one. This will have the least amount of enhancements, but that's okay. Um, oh, and my monk leveled up. Look at that. Uh, Give it some more accuracy. And just double check my monk here. Of course, new weapon. All right, we'll get that done too. I think that's the helm. I'm just gonna replace enhancements as much as possible and gamble. I'm gonna go do some jousting right now, actually. So the stavesman, I think I could have done a much better job with this. I think that could have run it higher agility. I could have not allocated to accuracy. I was just afraid of counters and only having two melee. I just didn't think I could do it. Um, let's do some jousting though. Look for our friend Avalon here. Here we go. Breeze through these here. So 5656, and I started off with 4171. So 1500 gold on the last day for the Weed Wizards. A nice little get. And it'll allow me to pick this up. Actually, there might be a helm there. Let me see. Buy armor. Body 33. There might be heavy plate cap. There it is. Unenhanced, but that's cool. I'll take it. Still save a little bit. And uh, go. And it's shield. I've been switching the shield every 6 levels instead of every 3. Not really bothering re-enhancing just for like +1 agility. So I think this was what the level 25 shield. So I am due for a change there too. See if I can get one in the merchant. There's level 33 bodies. There should be level 31 shields. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And we will get that on here. So Old Creek Kush. And sell this armor, re-enhance the others, and then I'll continue my attacks. Take one quick look at this before I allocate. So 693, 151, 135. So it's got the agility boost there. I have not been allocating to agility for a while. Defense is lagging a lot behind. So I will give it some defense and just get it above 700. It's me to 707. And let's just do a quick summary review here one more time. So 707, 135, 769, 118. Not the strongest melee in the world, but they're just there to try and stay alive long enough so that these guys can do their thing. 6 or 7, 280. Do. So everyone's like, this is the low guy for accuracy because the rest of them are above 270, which is what I like to see. Perfect. How many more do I have left? 12. Geez. Taking my time here today. Let's get a few out of the way. Let's go Cloak and Dagger. This guy's been critting the crap out of me on my main account. He's he's holding this one down pretty well too. Look at that. Like it took me 119 lines to finally get him out. He's given Frost some problems this season, actually. A lot of really lucky crits, but that's what that happens when you play crit bow, right? So um, he's got a shit ton of accuracy, so like those are deserved crits. Why did this last so long? I guess the HP really helped him out because this isn't really that overwhelming. Like some of my lower ranked mounts should be able to clear that and damage it, but I don't know. Maybe it's just RNG. We'll go after Bagel. Let's just see what Bagel has for their mount. So their Baron is not very good. 453, 193. Should be able to get through that before his 800 bows get me, but we'll see. Yep, that out well, and it's just the Blade Dancer, which will either die to the monk or to my knights. There it is, 930 damage crit. These are just monstrous hits. 646 here, and we have a new level. There's the Executioner there. Cool. Some of the harder triangles, like the J-Mize and Crush of Demons, I wanted to get new armor to face them. Well, I don't have much gold to do anything, but um, we'll see what we can do here. It'll still net out in a positive way. Let me see here. I should have actually passed this down, and I normally I would have, but it's the last day. I'm just um, not being as gold efficient. Can definitely get some more out of that. 771. Yeah, I want to allocate yet. Put some more enhancements first. It's 1275. And should be 1278 after this. 74. So it should be 774, 117. 1200 HP to absorb critical hits. I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with defense on this. Get close to 790. It is scary, like with basically no agility on these things, but I'm gonna attack Frost. This guy's had a rough season. This guy has. He had 5 bows, and then he tried to pivot to 3 melee, 2 damage bow, 2 crit bows. Like it's just a mess of a setup. But yeah, that didn't take very long. What was it? Line 17. So pretty easy battle there. And these ones are a little harder though. So Mai, he's been playing really well. That's my guy. I've been working with him. We've been working hand in hand, and been tough at times for him, but he's finishing really strong here. He should be in the top 10. So, congrats to you. And look at this. This was a lot harder. So, took me 130 lines to get through. I wonder why. I didn't really like a counter or oh, he critted the monk. Okay, well, that's fine. But he countered. So look at this. Slurricane got countered by this knight. So I think I go on to win this, but let me just double check. Like that's pretty wild. Like my top mount. So you remember it's like 280 agility or accuracy, but his mount has 257 agility, 560 defense versus 637 to 280. That counter should not be going down like that. At least not that quickly into a battle. That's what's scary about these setups, right? Like anything can happen. Um, Crush of Demons is next on my hit list. This is yeah, 627, 245 is no joke. That might be tough. He's got a lot of damage too, doesn't he? Oh, he's on the lower end, but still, that's definitely threatening to my weak melee. I will hit him. It's just that is an 1,000 HP too. I'm gonna come back to that. I don't even need to hit him, I don't think, but we got 8 hits left. Maybe I'll pivot towards the other one. So Ivory has this weird setup where he's got like multiple types of mounted, but they have a crap ton of HP. So they're absolute tanks. These battles always scare me. Um, because like survivability, right? Health matters. So this is like not a fun attack to do, but looks like my guys got the memo and realized it's winning time today. So they took care of him. Just ranked up for the last time, which is cool. I'll get some extra gold. And I will add more accuracy because clearly what I have is not enough. Probably should have allocated to agility on that executioner there, but get 10,000 gold. want to make sure I get to 20 first, and then I'll spread my enhancements out. Uh, huh, good. 8K left, and I'm at like 793 or something. Yeah, 794, 117. If I can get that above 800, enhancing this is not as valuable. See how much mileage could I get? I get more actual enhancements, that's for sure. If I get like say 7.5, that's 12. 12 plus 8, 20. So this has 20 plus 20, 727. Is that really going to make a difference? Do I want to throw it into a weapon? Probably not, because like enhancements are really expensive at this point. Like if I were to do, oops, 9,000 enhancements. Oh, I'd be like unbeatable. I meant to do 9,000 gold. Yeah, like 12 damage on a mount. Like it could be good. Um, but I like my mounts. Like I do. I just want to make sure my melees hold up. So um, I'm gonna go to 800. I'm gonna cross 800, and then I'll use the rest on my monk. Let's just do it this way. Give it each piece 3, so I'm not paying the higher price for an enhancement. That's why I'm doing it this way. For those who are questioning why I'm doing that with the amount of gold I have, I want to enhance as evenly as possible, because as you enhance, it gets more expensive. And if I'm looking just to get one defense, I can pay less by enhancing a piece that's been enhanced less. So this should be good. Yep, perfect. 718. Let's just do a summary view actually. This is the home stretch. 718, 135, 803, 117, 637, 285, 82, 276. Got a bunch of the 276, 280s. The difference is some of them have 620 HP and some of them don't. Um, Marduk will attack him. Looks good there. Now this is where it gets weird, because there's like the Maltese. We all know who they are. So John Forge, Spartan, Karna. These ones scare me because like they have like defensive mounts, but then they also have this like Baron that's a monster. And it's just like a bunch of little guys like attacking this like absolute behemoth. Um, and it scares me every time I attack. But I do want to hit them today. So we'll start with John Forge. John Forge is the one without the Gendarme as well, which is what I want. Those Gendarmes are countering me like crazy. Oh, see, so mounted can go like one of two ways. Either this Baron could tear me up, or this can happen. This thing's dead on line 8. Should be good the rest of the way. Didn't even get a counter because he doesn't have the Gendarme, so that's great. What am I at now? 7 attacks left? 5 attacks left. Sweet. Uh, Spartan does have it though. So see, like this, 102 speed, that's faster than anything I have. A lot of defense, it tanks hits. The HP is a little, but this is a beast. It's not even level 28. I'm sure when he's attacking today, it's going to be a lot better. And these things, though, like they counter my knights like crazy, especially with all the HP. Like, oof, like I'm nervous retaliating on this more so than players 20 spots higher, just because of the setup, right? Like, the okay, so I lost 1, and I don't even think that might have been to the Baron, right? I didn't look. Oh, the knight got 1. Okay, but you can see it took some damage here. Um, 4 left, and Charna is he has a level 28 sword, so and more HP, and he's faster, uh, and he's got the Gendarme too. That's nasty. That is nasty stuff, but we're gonna give it a shot. And that's how it can go the other way, right? Look at that. Lagoon is my second best knight, and he crits this thing on line 1, just one-shotting it for 700. and 16 damage. Now I get him here on line 8 with my main guy, and he took a crit line 5 as well. But that's why it's so scary, mount versus mount. But I think with the variety of setups this season that we've seen, we've had to attack much lower than I perhaps want to. But this is more in line with I think old school HD. So anyway, see, there's one, but the gender arm got my monk instead. So the accuracy that I've been applying to my knights has worked. I was probably just a little behind that day. So I've got 3 left now and got my targets in sight. Um, Crush of Demons still scary. That's why I enhanced my defense. That's why I pitted my melee today. And I think I'm as strong as I'm going to be today. So I'm going to like other than doing like one enhancement on a melee, there's really not much else I can do. If I'm gonna hit him, this is all I've got. Nope, can't even do that. Can do it on my monk though. This guy, I still need to interview you, man. You were great last season, and I credit you for this sort of new generation. So by playing and attacking melee and being so successful last season, you were able to influence a whole like bunch of other players. So shout out to you. And looks like it takes some time to get through you and your melee. Look at that. Four. So I still have to do that interview. I know we talked about it. It's just been an absolutely crazy month. 2 hits left, and I'm in a good spot right now. So let's just see what Dynamis has. Our friend Dynamis almost soloed me yesterday. So this is pretty weak, but it's this that really, really screwed me. 263 agility. So you can see how, like, even with the plus 3%, he was landing those counters. Um, I might hit somebody else instead of him. Lord Fletcher, that's a tough one too. That's me actually. Um, I've got the 4 mounted and 2 cripples I started with on that just to bail me out if all my knights got countered, but it didn't. It was unnecessary. And then I picked up another knight and it didn't work. And then so I needed gold because like I wasn't scaling well, so I ran a short bowman for salary towards the end. But um, this is risky, right? 6v4, but a lot of green and a lot of red that don't have my name on it. So there's a 30 liner, which is excellent. Again, numbers game, right? Look at all the green lines. Didn't even have a chance. Didn't even have a chance. Last attack. Yes. One more left this season. It's feeling pretty good about where I'm at right now. I think I've already passed ease, but I want to still make sure I win out anyway in case there's any trickery going on. Um, I'm what? How much ahead am I? 425 ahead. Yeah. Um, I'm going to go low. Did I hit Crazy Apple? I don't think I hit Crazy Apple. Phillies, yeah. Crazy Apple's on this list here. I think that's most prudent thing to do. Where are you? 39. Just double check what you have again. I already spied you, but you've got some melee going on here. Um, this. Yeah, like that might be annoying. That's actually a very good mount. And like proportionally, he's pretty strong. He's just got some weird. He just doesn't have enough melee, I think. He's only got a couple, and anything offensive has to be like a game with numbers, a game of numbers. So, um, yeah, I will attack Crazy Apple to hopefully wrap up this season. Be available on retail? No, he's not. There we go. Got rid of the knight really quick. And backdoored for the win. 182 points. Very conservative finish to the season. And that's it. I win. Smoking on that Wilt 146 pack. I finished the day with 3,413 nobility points, undefeated. So 17 attacks, I got just over 200 per attack, almost 201 actually. And yeah, I won the season with this setup here with one last look again. Cold Creek Kush, 719, 135. This was a lot of fun to race. I saw a lot of rogues out there, and on FrosT, I actually sold the monk that I had bought, and I should have kept it though because I was able to raise this pretty well. The allocations could have been maybe done better, but nonetheless, it's been fun to play with the monk. It was good to troll with it. The executioner, Gorilla Glue. I feel like I'm inducting these guys into like the Pokemon Hall of Fame or something. A lot of HP just because of the critical hits. Critical hits happen because I have barely any agility on this thing. I stopped a long time ago when I realized that if bows are dead, they cannot crit me. So 803 defense, and then my mounted brigade. Slurricane was my ace, 637, 280 accuracy, 582, 276 for Blue Dream, and the rest of them are very similar. So again, 564, 276, 582, 280, and so on. So that is it for me. I will have a lot more to say about this season. I will do a sad boy FrosT video at some point, just kind of talking about the season that was from that perspective. And I plan on, by the way, so regarding the podcast, I don't really need to sit there and talk about my history, my past, and like my skill at the game. What I want to do is actually, and I've already talked to Shiny and CE3 about this, is I want to have a panel discussion. I want to have one representative from each setup, whether it's myself, of course, as the winner, Ease, if he's available, and Dynamis. I would love to sit down and Donut as well because he had a lot to do with these changes. I want to just have a discussion about how the game has evolved from the, three Merc triangle in February to this like robust game we have now at the end of May. I think it's a good point in the year to kind of reflect a little bit on how far we've come and perhaps talk about where we want to go. It'd be really interesting to see and well, not see, but hear their accounts, their experiences playing, a triangle with one bow versus a swarm of offensive melee. I had a chat with Donut yesterday, and he was showing me just the level of detail that he was putting into his setup because he finished really well this season too. And then I can talk about like my experience playing Mounted, and we can talk about how each setup sort of interacts with each other and things we could do perhaps to like counter one another. And that's what HD is about to me. I don't need this to be about me and how I won or whatever, but I'm glad I did. Um, feels pretty damn good. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Maybe this weekend, maybe next week. But thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.